Okay, how do we introduce ourselves in French? Okay, so we start, of course, with greetings. Okay. How do we greet in French? Just like in English, there are several ways of greeting people in French, depending on who you are addressing and whether you want to be A. Formal. For example, when you greet your boss, you are formal, right? Or B. Informal. Okay. When you greet your friends, your family members, your relatives, you are informal, no? Okay, di man ta mag-sir o ma'am sa atong nanay, no? Or sa atong amigo, amiga, okay? So there are two ways of greeting in French. Formally, you use this when you greet your boss, someone who's older than you, someone who is your superior, okay? Your dean, for example, okay? Or you may greet someone informally, friends, relatives, family members, okay? Let's start with how to greet formally, okay? You can use bonjour, okay? Again, bonjour, which means good day. Bonjour can be used within the day. When we say within the day, pwedeng buntag, pwedeng hapon. Okay? Basta kay adlawan. Okay? You can use bonjour in the afternoon, ha? Basta nung magtuo mo, good morning, Rene, no? Actually, mao po niyang gamiton sa French, no? Sa France, no? Bonjour, hapon, bisan og hapon na. Okay? How about in the evening? In the evening, you say bonsoir. Okay? Again, bonsoir. Okay? And after bonjour and bonsoir, you add the title of the person you're greeting. For example, Monsieur. Again, this is pronounced Monsieur. Okay? Madame for Mrs. By the way, Monsieur means Mr. Madame for Mrs. And Mademoiselle for Miss. Okay. Every now and then, ani nga discussion, ani nga Google Meet session, I will give you pronunciation tips and advice. Okay? So, I hope ning tan-aw na jud mo adtong pronunciation videos para murag mas makasabot mo sa akong ihatag nga tips of advice ron. For example, kane, no? Let me give you an advice or a tip on how to pronounce ON sa bonjour and bonsoir. Ang kaning bonjour o bonsoir, ang ON ane, excuse me, ang ON ane nga words is actually a nasal vowel. When we say nasal vowel, from the name itself, nasal, gamiton ang ilong. Okay? So, di ra kami yung bon, but apilo ni mo gamay ang ilong. Mura bitaw nguho, no? Bon, okay? Bonjour, bonsoir. Okay? Another pronunciation tip, ang ON sa monsieur is pronounced E. Okay? E. So, you say monsieur. Okay? Dili na sa monsieur, no? Okay, uban mo yung mon. It's not mon, it's me. Monsieur. Okay? So, ito ang some pronunciation tips sa formal na pag-greet. Okay? Let's go to informal, greeting someone informally. How do you greet someone informally? Of course, you can still use bonjour. Bonjour is both formal and informal. Okay? And you can also use this, no? It's common in France, no, nga kani ilang gamiton nga greeting, no, among friends. You say salut. Okay? Again, salut. Okay. A pronunciation tip, ang T sa salut is silent, ha. Basin og basa nindo ani salute. Wala na inog sa military, no, salute. No. T here is silent. Salut. Okay? Which means hi. Okay? We move on to our next topic. So after greeting your friend or your boss, of course, when you introduce yourself, you're going to talk about yourself, no? You're going to talk about, for example, your name, your age, your address, etc., etc. Okay? Ako lamang i-accept last na indong classmate ha, maluoy man po tawag, nag-ungot ang idang request. Daghan man din sila. Sisa, Debra, o Coral. Pero at least cut off na karon. Okay, going back. Sige, how do we talk about ourselves, no? We start with our names, of course, no? How do you say my name is in French? It's very straightforward. You say, je m'appelle. Again, to say my name is, you say, je m'appelle. Okay, and then you insert your name. For example, je m'appelle Emarlon. Okay? Je m'appelle Emarlon. Okay? Je m'appelle actually literally means I call myself. Okay? So, di ni sida ang literal dun nila na translation, dili my name is ha, but I call myself. But it is commonly translated as my name is. So, in introducing your name, you use je m'appelle. Okay? Just a pronunciation tip. Ang I sa je, dili na sila ha. So, you don't say je m'appelle. Je m'appelle. No. That's pronounced Pareho ganina sa monsieur. Kane, je. Okay? So, you don't pronounce this as je, but pronounce this as je. Je m'appelle. Okay? Next, when we talk about our age, okay, I'm blank years old. How do you say that in French? You say, j'ai, and then blank, you insert your age, and then on. Okay? J'ai, blank, on. Okay? For example, j'ai 30 ans. Again, j'ai 30 ans. This means I am 30 years old, no? So, kay bawa na mo sa edad ni Sir. Si Sir is already 30 years old, no? Tiguwang na Sir. Okay? Now, j'ai blank ans literally means I have blank years. Okay? But it is commonly translated as I'm blank years old. Okay? So, a pronunciation tip, ang AI sa j'ai, dili na jai ha, basig mo ingon tag jai blank no? No, that's actually pronounced e. Okay? So you pronounce that as je. Okay? Je, and then you insert your age Okay? Another pronunciation tip, ANS here, AN. By the way, S is silent, no? That's why you didn't hear me say ans, no? Why S? So, S is silent, and AN dire is nasal again, no? Nasal. So, gamito na to ang ilong. Whereas sa bonjour and bonsoir, O ang atong gi-pronounce nga letter, but with our nose, dire, A ang atong i-pronounce, and again with our nose, kay nasal, no? So, you say that you pronounce this as on. Okay? On. Okay? So, j'ai blank on. Okay? Sige, I'm showing this to you. This is actually a table, no, of the French numbers from 1 through 100. I will share to you a copy of this, no, para later sa inyong exam magamit ni ninyo, no, kung pila inyong edad, no. Kasagaran taling edad ninyo dire is 20 or 21, I guess. Sakto ba? Isa yung mas tiguang na ho dire. Wa man tingali, no? Napa by 17 dire, wa na tingali, no? Or 18, wa na man tingali. I guess wa na. Okay pa mo diha, alam mo rag napa by tao. Aw na ba? Mahadlok og naputol na ang internet ba? Da ako na lamay sige istorya, no? Anyway, sige, no? Thank you for answering. Okay, so I'll send you a copy of this later, so don't worry. Or not exactly later, but maybe tomorrow or on Saturday. Sige, we move on. So after our name and our age, of course, we want to say where we live, where we come from. Okay? So how do we talk about our address? How do you say I'm from or I live in? Okay. I'm from in French is je viens de. Again, je viens de. Okay. For example, je viens de Maasin or Philippines. Je viens de Maasin or Philippines. Okay, that's je viens de. Some pronunciation, je viens de literally means I come from. But this is usually translated as I'm from. Okay? So, some pronunciation tips. Kaibaw naman tanong na ang je is di na je, but je. Okay? How about viens? There is a viens. First of all, silent ang S. That's why I didn't pronounce this as vians, no? But it's silent ang S. How about the en? The en in this word is actually again a nasal na pod, no? So aning a word, however, no? Whereas ang bonjour, O ang nasal, ang on earlier, A ang nasal, dire, E na pod ang nasal. Okay? So you pronounce the letter E with your nose, no? So that's why you pronounce this as viens. Okay? And next, pronunciation tip, DE here is pronounced de. Dili ni siya de, ha? Naanad ra ba ta og pronounce ani nga de, no? Kay for example, kanang sa simbahan, kanang Santo Niño de Cebu, Santo Niño de Limasawa, okay? Ang de anang Santo Niño de Cebu is actually Spanish, no? In French, it's pronounced differently. Okay? You pronounce DE as de, okay? Instead of de, okay? So, je viens de, okay? How about I live in? I live in is j'habite à. And then you insert your address. J'habite à. For example, j'habite à Tagnipa, Maasin. I am sorry, no, ang akong example dire why letter H. Sorry. J'habite à Tagnipa, Maasin. Okay, which means I live in Tagnipa, Maasin. Okay? So, after the address, saan naman po itong storyahan? Of course, we'll talk about our occupation, no? So, atong what do we do for a living? Sa ka, I'm a student ba? Or still? Or I'm a teacher? I'm a chef? How do we say this? I am a blank for your occupation. You say, je suis. Okay, again, je suis. Then you add your occupation. For example, je suis enseignant. Again, je suis enseignant. Okay, enseignant is teacher. Okay, just a pronunciation tip. Ang S sa suis is silent, no? That's why ako niyo Swiss. It's suis. Okay, silent ang S. Let me share with you now other professions, other occupations na related sa inyong course, no? How do we say, for example, manager or chef in French? Okay, here are these professions in French, no? First of all, student. Kay student po mo, no? How do you say student in French? The first word is for males. The second is for females. Okay? So, étudiant is for male students. So, you say, je suis étudiant kung male ka. The second is étudiante. Okay? Notice nga madungog na ang T. Étudiante. Okay? If you're a female. Okay? How about a manager? You say gérant or gérante. Okay? You may have noticed, no? Ang R sa French is different. Ang R sa English is R, no? Ang R sa French is murag kag na hukaw bitaw. Yan na, no? Gérant. Huh? Gérante. Okay, so that's the French R. So, kung itanaw mo sa katong video sa gisend last time, ida tong gi-discuss dito, ida tong gi-illustrate how to pronounce the French R, which is okay? How about receptionist? How do you say receptionist? Receptionist. Okay? Receptionist. How about chef or cook? Of course, chef. Okay, chef is already a French word. Okay? How about pastry chef? For pastry chef, you say pâtissier or pâtissière. Okay? Again, pâtissier, pâtissière. Okay? How about baker? For baker, you say boulanger or boulangère. Boulanger or boulangère. How about barista? Okay? Simply, you just say barista. Okay? With the R is pronounced differently, no? Barista. Okay? Barista. And lastly, how about a waiter or a waitress? Okay? Pasinog mukhaan mo ba? Sir, di mo may ma-waiter or waitress? Well, ang waiter o waitress sa gawas kay Vicente na ba na trabaho, no? Actually, they earn a lot. Nga naman, aside from hourly nga pay, tapos sila tips, no? And when you work abroad, daghan dugang tips madawat nga naman kay kasagaran nimong serbihan, tourists man, and tourists have a lot of money, no? Anyway, so how do you say waiter or waitress in French? You say serveur or serveuse. Again, serveur or serveuse. Okay. Some pronunciation tips. Ang kaning AN sa étudiant o gérant, mauni ang nasal nga A na ato nang na-encounter earlier. So, when you pronounce this, you include your nose. Étudiant. Okay? Gérant. Okay? Other tips. Ang R sa pâtissier o boulanger are silent. Okay? So, pâtissier for the male. Madungog na noon sa female, no? Sa female, pâtissière. Okay? Madungog ng R. Sa boulanger, di madungog ang R sa male. Boulangère, madungog ng R sa female. Okay, no? So, these are the common occupation in Zopohon, no? If ever alahos mo ito sa French-speaking country. Next, after our occupation, we talk about our hobbies. What do you like to do? Okay, what do you like to do? Like, do you like to play sport? Do you like to travel? Do you like to eat? Etc. How do we say that in French? Simply, you say j'aime. Okay, and then you add your hobby. Again, j'aime. Okay. For example, in my case, j'aime lire et prendre du café. J'aime lire et prendre du café. Okay? Which means I like to read and to drink coffee. Okay. Now, j'aime here literally means I love, no? Actually, ang translation sa j'aime, so literally, means I love. But this is commonly translated as I like. Anyone among you here knows how to say I love you in French? Gamiton ra ba ang j'aime in isulti I love you? Wow, ay nakahibaw dire how to say I love you in French? Wa, gusto mo makahibaw? Aya. Ito na, no? Je t'aime, yes. Very good. You just add the letter T before AI. So, instead of saying j'aime, you say je t'aime. Je t'aime means I love you. Okay? Na may kasulti sindo mga uyab po ho, no? Je t'aime bay. Bay na yun, no? Je t'aime. Je t'aime, no? Je t'aime. Okay? Sa Spanish o sa Italian, ang kasagaran na ba nga atong makitaan sa TV is te amo, no? But that's not really true. No, ang sa Spanish, you don't say te amo really, no? But they say te quiero. Te quiero. Okay. In Italian also you don't say ti amo, you say ti voglio bene. Okay. So just an extra para na mo yung idea, no? Anyway, so pronunciation tip. J'aime. AI here is not pronounced I, no? You don't pronounce this as j'aime, no? AI here is pronounced E. No? So you pronounce this as j'aime. Okay, j'aime. Naining request orang i-add ka dito si April Coral. Okay. Maluoy malagita, no? Bisan og nag-cut off ta ba na what if lagi ang ilang internet ka doon lisod. Okay? Sige. So again, you pronounce this as j'aime, dili j'aime. Okay, j'aime. Okay? Now let me share with you some common hobbies, no? How do you say these hobbies in French? For example, how do you say write in French? You say écrire. Okay? Écrire. How about watch movies? You say regarder des films. Again, regarder des films. Notice that the R of regarder, the final R is silent, and the S of de and film are also silent, no? So you pronounce it as regarder des films. Okay, watch movies. How about sing? How do you say sing? Chanter. Okay, chanter. How about dancing? Danser. Okay, danser. How about cooking? Maybe some of you here love to cook, no? How do you say I love to cook? You say, for cook, you say cuisiner. Again, for cook, you say cuisiner. So how do you say I love to cook? J'aime cuisiner. Okay. How about to eat? No, of course. Who doesn't love to eat? Mga ang number one hobby sa mga Pinoy. To eat is manger. Again, to eat is manger. How about to travel? This is also another favorite for Filipinos. I love to travel. For travel, you say voyager. Again, voyager. Okay. And lastly, how about if you like sports? How do you say I play sports? I like playing sports. You say faire du sport. Again, faire du sport. Okay, notice that the TS of sport is silent. No? So just pronounce the R, anaras R ko to. Sport. Okay? You might be wondering, no? Daghan na siya dong silent na letters sa French. Daghan gazod, no? And if you already watched the videos I sent you last time, makakita mo dito sa mga silent na letters, no? Hindi dapat i-pronounce. Okay, some pronunciation tips. The ER sa regarder, chanter, danser, cuisiner, manger, voyager. These are all silent, no? So that's why you didn't hear me pronounce, for example, cuisiner as cuisiner, no? No. I I said cuisine. I pronounced it cuisine. Silent ang R. Okay? So, we move on to our last topic. Goodbye na. How do you say goodbye in French? Okay, how do you say goodbye in French? Again, there are two ways. Depending on you want to say goodbye formally or informally. How do you say goodbye formally? How do you say goodbye to your boss, to your dean, etc.? You say au revoir. Again, au revoir. Okay? And then you add the title of the person you're saying goodbye to. Excuse me. For example, Monsieur for Mr., Madame for Mrs., and Mademoiselle for Miss. For example, if you want to say goodbye to me, for example, you can say au revoir, Monsieur Ravago. Okay. Or if I want to say goodbye to your dean, au revoir, Madame Homok. Okay? Now, just a pronunciation tip. AU here, sa au revoir, this is not pronounced like as au, ha? Kasi may mo, au revoir. No? AU is pronounced O. Just like the letter O. O. Okay? Okay, so you pronounce it as O. Just like the letter O. Kabantay pod mo na anang kuan kanang ay mo tan-aw bitaw mo perfume na gikan sa France or kanang bisag unsa nga perfume, kita jud mo anang letter nga E, A, o U. E-A-U. That's a one word. That's actually a French word. Kanang E-A-U. How do you pronounce that? You also pronounce that in the same way as you pronounce A-U. So, au revoir. You pronounce that as O. Okay? E-A-U and then na word na de toilette. De toilet. No? Eau de toilette. Mao na ang French translation sa perfume, no? Eau de toilette. Anyway, so, moving on. How about au revoir? Ang E sa au revoir is pronounced E. Pareho sa monsieur. So, dili ni sa au revoir, no? But O, and then au revoir. E. Ang au. Okay? How about if we say goodbye informally? So, maatong gamiton. Of course, you can still use au revoir. You can also use salut. No? We already mentioned this earlier. When you say hello, you say salut. And when you say goodbye, you can also use salut. Okay, bye, salut. Okay? You can also use that. Another is à plus tard. Again, à plus tard. Okay? Which means see you later. Okay? And lastly, you can also say à demain. Again, à demain. Which means see you tomorrow. Some pronunciation tips. Ang à plus tard, notice nga ang S is silent. No? I didn't say à plus tard. Okay? So, S is silent. So, you pronounce this as à and then plus, silent ang S. Tard. Notice na silent po ng D. Okay? And the AIN sa à demain is a nasal vowel, no? The letter E ng a nasal vowel. So, you pronounce this as a. Okay, à demain. Okay, à demain. Okay, with that, masinog naglibog na mo or kanang nosebleed na mo, no? Let's have a recap, no? And I'll discuss to you your midterm exam before we end, okay? So, today we learned greetings in French. We learned how to greet formally and informally. We also learned how to introduce ourselves in French. We learned how to talk about ourselves, talk about our name, our age, our address, occupation, and hobbies. Okay. And lastly, we learned how to say goodbye. Again, both formally and informally in French. So these are the things we learned today. Sige, let's go to your midterm exam. No? Cheng, midterm exam. It's actually very easy, no? Marang malingaw man tingali mo maghimo ane. Well, ako personally marang malingaw ko. Okay? You're going to make a video of yourself. Maximum ha, maximum na dili minimum masing maobligar mo. Maximum is 3 minutes. Okay? Kung mula pas kay dito maigo, well, adto lang pud paabtaw 10 minutes, no? Tingali ang pinaka maximum jud is 4 or 5 minutes, no? Adto lang paabtaw ma 15 20, no? Okay, a maximum of 3 to 5 minutes. Introducing yourself to a stranger. So, you're going to use the formal greetings and the formal goodbye. Okay? So, here's the criteria. By the way, no? When you introduce yourself, you can be creative, no? Creative in the sense nga, pwede og for example, instead nga moingon mo, I am a student, you can say, I am a cook. Okay, so, cook ko, for example, sa Hotel de Manila. So, you can say, Je suis chef de Hotel de Manila. Okay, you can say that. Okay, og student ra gani gamiton, kamo mang tanang student. So, magbalik-balik ra na, student na. Akong estudyante sa HRM, kaya moabot og mga 100 plus, no? So, siguro kadungog, student. You can be creative, no? I am a chef. I am, for example, a manager of Hotel de Paris. Okay? Je suis gérant de Hotel de Paris. Okay? You can say that, no? You can be creative. Okay? Now, for the criteria, this exam is worth 30 points. First of all, ang content. Okay, originality, video quality, of course, mas maadyo tingali wa mo sangiob ng video, no? Kanang maklaro man lamang inyong naong, no? Your attire, no? Of course, di naman ta magsando or kanang pang-uran, pang-bahay nga sanina, no? Atong suotan gamay og uniform, okay na ang uniform, no? Our voice clarity, okay? These are all worth 30 points. For the pronunciation, although si kog ingon nga, ang pronunciation, dili ka adyo nato fokusan kay it really takes time to master French pronunciation. Pero, I also want to encourage you, no, to study pronunciation. Manahon na lang mag-i-appeal sa criteria, no? It's okay, dili ko kadyo kinastriktuhan sa pronunciation dire, no? But makagita gani ko gamayng effort nga naningkamot sa pronunciation kung proper or clear. Of course, dako ka ato nang na rewardan ang imong effort. Okay? And lastly, you have creativity, no, video design, etc. No? You don't need to hire a professional videographer. Vlog ra god, no? And creativity is worth 10 points also. Now, you are going to PM me your videos not later than October 22, Friday, 5 p.m. So, October 22 is it next week na ba? Next week na, oh. I think that's, sakto na ba na time? Sakto na tali na, no? It's just a 3-minute video, mampod. Okay? Okay ra, mura magnaload mo. Okay ra. Adyo mo, sir, ba sino katawaan ko? No, i-PM man ninyo yung video na, nara sa ninyo, gusto ninyo i-post sa inyong wall, no? Kamo, no? I-comment ninyo sa atong group. Okay ra, it's up to you, no? Basta kay i-PM lamang po na ho. Kaya akong checkan, no? So, stranger laman kay, nung manrabaho mo sa France, formal man inyong gamiton, di man mo maingon og hi sa inyong kliyente, no, sa inyong customers or sa inyong boss, no. Ato lamang hinahinayon og train atong kagalingon nga. As a matter of fact, kung madto mo sa kanang Europe, gi-encourage gyud nga formal ang language atong gamiton bisan og more or less kailan na kas tao, no? Mas maadto ng formal ka pirme, pirmiro, da ingnaon na ka sa imong kastorya nga adto naman pag formal kay amigo bidata. Diha na ka di man formal. Okay. Mainsulto man na sila, tinuod dito na ha, mainsulto na sila og di mo sila formalon. Okay? So, you're going to PM me your ha? Ay dili. Mag-video ra kasi mo kaugalingon, wa kay laing tao kastorya ha. Hala base. Vlog ra. Mura ra kag nag-vlog, no? Hala, bitaw. Di kibali ang bitaw no, how to inaon tong ubang klase kay base nog mag-imagine sila. Base mo adto sila plaza no, mag-story French pinakalit no. Base no, base dakpo na yun police, no? Koan, kanang mag-imagine ra ka nga imong kasturya stranger. So, mag-imagine ra. Dili kinahanglan mo koha og stranger, okay? Imagine ra, bisag nara ka sa imong kwarto, no? So, imagine imong kasturya stranger, okay? So, vlog ra jod, no? Thank you for clarifying this ha, kay base na-stress na tingali mo, no? Pag-ingon nga katawa mo naman ta, no? Mali. Padako lagi tayo kag pulis, no? Bitaw. So, just imagine yourself talking to a stranger, no? Just a vlog, just you, no one else, no? Ikaw ra, no? Para di mo mauwaw. Di mo cringe, no? Okay? So, i-PM me your videos not later than October 22. Late submissions will receive a deduction ha. So, take ko daan. And you already have 10 points sa inyong midterm ha. So, kaning mga ning attend karon, I check your attendance. You already have 10 points sa inyong midterm. Okay? So, additional resources. Sige, thank you po kay nag-effort mo attend. Okay? For your resources, for reference, I will be uploading a recording of today's session. Sa ning i-edit, no? Kay nakoy ikat na ho ang permiro nga kanang naghanang ning join, medyo naputol lang atong discussion, ang tarungan ng audio, etc. So, I still have to edit this recording. So, basin mga Saturday I upload. Okay? So, if you want if you're looking for reference on saon ra to inisulti, no, you can always watch this recording again, no? For pronunciation, although napug ko ilang resources nga i-share sa pronunciation, kung maglibog mo unsaon ining pronounce sa usa ka French word, you can always go to Google Translate. If you go to Google Translate, na nagamay microphone, di ba, asa ta mo suwat sa atong ipa-translate. May box diha. Sa ubos na gamay microphone. So, islita na i-pronounce na sa Google, no? Correctly. Okay? Another would be forvo.com. Okay? You can visit forvo.com and there you can type any word ilang i-pronounce. Okay?